Hey everybody, we're just going to be looking at some more math functions today, and a few in particular. The three being the sum function, the round function, and the subtotal function. And they're all pretty interesting in the different ways that you can use them, and the fact that we can include more than one function into one formula. And I'll get into a little bit about how we can do that. To start off though, let's just review our sum. So we always open up a formula with equals, and then we're going to type in sum, open parenthesis. We're going to copy our numbers right here, close that parenthesis, and then we're going to drag it all the way down because this number is eventually going to want to total everything here. And we can just go and check, does that equal 173,079? Yes, it does. So it all lines up. And then let's go ahead and do the sum function again for each individual year and each individual item. And let's pull that across the top, and there we go. That's our grand total, $790,225. We can also just go right ahead and copy that and paste it down here. And you'll notice right off the bat that, yes, the numbers don't actually copy. What we're copying and pasting is indeed the formula. And you'll notice that if we go ahead and fact check that, yes, it's pointing to all the correct cells it needs to. And we can of course do that with this guy down here. Oops. Go ahead and paste that in. And then if we actually just drag this down, it'll once again just kind of copy that formula right down. And there we go. Sums up our numbers perfectly. And if we pull that in and check our number down here, yep, $1,114,138.07. Up here it just rounded it, and if we actually open up that a little bit, bump that digit out, we can see that, yes, it all lines up perfectly. Actually, just for reference, let's all make sure that all of our digits are out to the appropriate decimal place, just for a good reference. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and let's sum our two totals to get a grand total. So once again, we're going to go sum, open parenthesis, beginning number, plus what we want to use down here, close that parenthesis, and then hit enter. And if we go ahead and check that, and we go command or control, and then yes, we see our sum is 86,766. Yes, all works out perfectly. Now we can go ahead, and another way that you might try to sum is some people might try and think that this would work if you go sum, open parenthesis, and then just kind of click and drag everything down here, close and hit enter. But, whoa, if we look at this, so basically 400,000 plus 230,000 should equal around 630,000, but why is our number practically double? Well, because we've already factored these numbers into the total. So there's no sense of summing all of this because basically what we're doing is just counting it twice. So instead, we need to make sure that we don't do that and we avoid doing that. What we could do as well is we could go equals just this cell plus this cell and kind of skip using the function and just use a formula, and we will get the correct number. What I want to introduce now is a thing called subtotals. And subtotals may seem like summing, but it's actually completely different. So let's go ahead and let's go subtotal, comma, function number 9 for sum, or we could pretty much just do sum, comma, and let's just sum everything right here and close that parenthesis. But wait. It's telling us that we're missing a parenthesis because we haven't actually closed it yet. It's asking for a reference number. So it's not really going to work to build it in that way. Instead, what we're going to have to do is subtotal and just subtotal everything in there. But first we're only going to put 9 for sum. Then we're going to want to put it for our reference. Close the parenthesis, hit enter. And you'll notice that we get this absurd number of 2,034,754.10. And once again, it's practically double of what we have. So what's the point of using subtotal? Well, let's go back and I'll show you exactly why. instead of using sum, what we're going to do here is we're going to take that out and we're going to go equals subtotal. And now we're going to go function number 9, and we're going to reference here. And the reason, once again, we use function number 9 is because that is the function number for the sum. We're going to close that parenthesis and hit enter. And you'll notice that, yeah, we still get the same number, 483, okay. So, but you'll notice that our numbers now change from 2 million. Why is that? Well, let's take a step back there and kind of look at that quickly. So what we did there, although we still had the same number, right, 483, 337, right, what it's doing now is when we enter a subtotal and we pick a whole desired range, once we actually input those subtotal formulas into the range that we're using the subtotal in, it's not picking up any of these numbers. It's only picking up the cell that has a subtotal formula with that function in it. And if we now go ahead and we copy that and we paste it down there, and before I paste and enter it, I want you to watch this number, and you'll notice that it drops down to our $1,017,377.10. And if we go ahead and we and hit command and take this number, you'll notice that if we fact check it, yes, that is the right sum, and we're taking into this whole range, but it's only picking up this cell and this cell. Next, what we want to do is I want to take sum out of here, and I want to show you guys the round function, which is pretty basic. Honestly, all you're doing is just rounding up. So we just want to take this guy plus our other total up at the top, and then don't forget to put that comma in. And for now, put a 0 for 0 number digits and hit enter. And you'll notice that it rounds us to 1,904,364. And you'll notice that there's no decimal after that, even though we have a 7, 70 cents, 40 cents up here. So shouldn't it really be giving us a 1? Well, if we want that, and we don't want to round it, because we're using the round function, we could go back, input a 1 into our number of digits, hit enter, and you'll notice that, yes, it then comes out with the digit. But for the sake of this formula, we want to leave that as a 0 to get a solid number. And then if you want to take that decimal off, you can also just highlight everything, go up to the top, take that decimal off, and then it looks much more professional. Thanks, guys.